Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Empress Real 1584, the Good Witch. If this is your first time visiting me, I would like to thank you. While you're here, please like, subscribe, and share this channel. By taking this action, you will be helping the channel to grow. Also, take a moment to read my About page so that you can have some understanding about who I am. I will never copy another person's work, nor will I ever copy another person's title. That is because I am authentically me. This work is a part of my bloodline. I thank you for visiting, and I hope that you will return. Please check out my other videos. All are welcome to share his or her story in the comment section below, because your story may be a helpmate to someone else. My channel is a no judgment zone place for healing in some sort of way. If my videos do not resonate with you, please do not try to make them fit your circumstances at all. For anyone else and everyone else that the message does resonate with, take from it what will help you on your journey towards your happiness in every area of your life. Once again, I am Empress Real 1584, the Good Witch. This channel is all about healing, so let's begin healing together. Tonight, I am doing a Cancer reading. Listen, I'm a Cancer as well, but we don't do make-believe over here. So whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. If the reading is for a male, I will say so. If the reading is for a female, I will say so. If I say nothing at all, understand that we all have masculine and also feminine energies, each and every one of us. You know, last night I did a Sagittarius reading, and it was something else. However, this is a no judgment channel. This is a place for healing. So I make no judgments on anyone because it's not fair to ever do so. Everyone is always going to be who they're going to be. As much as you may want to change a person to how you feel like they're supposed to be, it's impossible. You cannot. You don't have that type of power. Because even if they do things according to the way that you would want them, they're going to go back to being who they are. And who they are has never left them, so they're going to be who they're going to be. There's no such thing as control. You cannot control another individual. Let me just say that. That's what free will is all about. But we're doing a Cancer reading tonight. Anyone that has ever been to any of my readings, you know I place the camera on the desk so that you can watch me shuffle the cards, cut the cards, and you can also have the pleasure of watching the cards fall out. Cancers are beautiful people. Let me just say that. Cancers are very beautiful people. Some of them, not all of them. Some Cancers are very beautiful people. You know, they're ruled by the water. They're water signs. Their cousins are Pisces and also Scorpio. They're ruled by the planet, the moon. You know, the moon is the fastest moving planet, switching signs roughly every 2.5 days. I believe it's every 2.5 days. It represents a person's instinctive reactions, their habits, their moods, what feels familiar to them, and what feels safe to them. The moon also describes their nurturing abilities towards themselves and others, their relationship with food, and the type of environment they like. The moon can also represent a person's mother. The moon is the planetary ruler of Cancer. A lot of times people come up here and they try to make the moon seem so dark, right? But it's a beautiful thing. I call the moon the sun's kiss, because as The sun nurtures and gives us the light during the day. So does the moon gives us the light at night. There's nothing hidden in the light. What's done in the dark always come to the light. That's why the night sky is lit up at night with the energy of the moon. Once again, I call it the sun's kiss. I've prayed to the moon ever since I was a child. That's just something that my family does and has done for generations. Never overlook the power, the energy of the moon. I've never asked the moon for something and I not received it. Anything that I have ever asked for, I have always received it. And I'm humbled by that because I always use the energy of the moon. Listen, Cancers, use your magic wisely. You know, we're going to do an awareness reading. And this awareness reading is a 6-card spread. The first card is going to represent where you stand, Cancer. The second card is where you're going, where you would like to go. The third card is your aspirations. The fourth, your fears. The fifth, your true desire. And the sixth, there's going to be a hidden message for you. Everyone knows that I always enjoy starting off with my spiritual news deck. Before I came to the reading, I already cleansed my space. But let me ring my bell. This is a Cancer reading for a male. Thank you so much for the rose. Thank you for the rose. This is a Cancer reading. If the reading is for a male, I will say so. If the reading is for a female, I will say so. If I don't say anything, understand we all have masculine and also feminine energies. Spirit guides, help me to deliver the most accurate message that I possibly can for the sign of Cancer. Show me everything I need to see. Tell me everything that I need to hear. Thank you. Cancer, you know, as I was meditating over these cards, I heard the word disaster. Disaster. Listen, let's see where we're going to go with that. Disaster. I don't feel like, Cancer, that disaster is on your behalf. But I do feel like there's someone around you who is a disaster. Let's see where we're going. Spirit guys, that was quick. Let's keep going. Spirit guys, what message do you have for Cancer? I need one more. That card came out quickly. Well, they gave me 3 more, so we're going to take them in the order that they did come out. The first card is this just in. Cancer, this just in. Forgiveness is the key to healing and letting go. Whomever you need to forgive, Spirit says now is the time to do so. There is no need to hold on to hurt, anger, or pain. Release it so you can be free. I heard the word disaster as I meditated over the cards. And maybe you feel like someone around you has some disastrous behavior. Maybe you feel like someone is a disaster and you choose not to be around them, which is okay. But Spirit is saying to forgive. You don't have to go to that person and say, hey, I want you to forgive me for feeling this way. Spirit is saying you forgive and let them go. Forgive, let them go. Forgive, let the situation go. Whomever you need to forgive, Spirit says now is the time to do so. And the reason why you do that is so that you won't hold on to negative energy, so that you won't hold on to the anger, the hurt, the pain. Release it. Forgive them. Forgive them. When you forgive someone, it doesn't mean that you need to be best friends, that they need to come over your house and sit on your couch. No, it doesn't. All it simply means is that you're forgiving so that you don't have to keep going down memory lane thinking about the hurt, the pain, the anger. Spirit says forgive them so you can release all of that. This just in, Cancer. This just in. Spirit comes to remind you that resilience is in your blood. You have the power to overcome anything life may have to throw at you, Cancer. If you're feeling defeated about any situation in your life, right now, Spirit says don't. For you may bend, but you are without a doubt unbreakable. You know, on my personal email, right? People always ask, why do you have that line on your email? But I use it all the time. And the line is, and it's a quote from Martin Luther King, a man can't ride your back unless it's bent. And I live by that because I am unbreakable. I don't walk around with my back bent over. I'm not. I'm stronger than that. I grew up in a family where you had no other choice but to be strong, right? So much so that I taught my children strength, but nothing in between. Because I was taught strength and nothing in between. And that's the true story. Spirit is coming to remind someone right now that without a doubt, you are definitely unbreakable. So no matter how you felt about this person, whatever they did, however they acted, whatever was said, you can let them go in a peaceful way. Forgive them. Because as I said in the beginning of the reading, you can't change a person. You cannot mold them into who you think they should be or however you may want them to be. They're going to be who they are authentically. But the one thing you can do is move forward without them. Forgive them for your happiness, for your peace, and learn from the experience so that you don't have to repeat it with a different person with the same type of disastrous behavior. We have breaking news, Cancer. The time has come for you to do the work, to heal your inner child. Doing this will help you to heal and understand why certain things and people continue to show up in your life. Remember that nothing good comes from ignoring a hurting child. There could be a Cancer here who suffered with some type of trauma when they were younger. You know, we're not going to go down the Mason-Dixon line about what the trauma was, but there's someone here who experienced some grave trauma and you've carried it. Although you may feel like you have released it, certain things are still there to trigger you. Spirit is telling you to heal that child. Let that child know that you understand. A lot of times when people hear that you need to heal the inner child, they give you no guidance in how to do it. And trust me, I was one of them who did not know how to do it. But I went to a seminar. And this seminar that I went to, and I've spoken about this before, it was with other psychics. It was with other mediums because in my world, it can get lonely. True story. So I went to this seminar to be around like-minded people like myself. The loneliness comes from when people know what you can do, and then they try to use you, and they want to keep asking you questions over and over and over again. And you're like, bitch, I'm more than that. So I went to this seminar, and my husband, he attended, which was a beautiful thing, right? But let me tell you, in this seminar, it was more than what I bargained for. And they spoke about healing the inner child. And many people in that seminar, believe it or not, psychics and mediums, most of them had the same type of traumas. In this seminar that I went to, we had to get into groups. And the groups that we were paired in, believe it or not, we had the same types of pains, the same types of wounds. When you want to work on self, to heal self, meditation is so important. Meditation and praying for my prayer warriors are equal. But meditation is a little different because you go into self and you go as deep as you will allow yourself to go. A lot of times when people go into meditation, the first thing they hear is when they hear the word meditation is, how long is it going to be? That means you're still not ready. But you can start off meditation 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. And as you grow and go along, your time will increase. But you take that time to connect back to self. When you were hurt, when something happened to you, when something was said, whatever was done, you go back to that time and you try to remember as many details as you possibly can about that day. Who did it, what was said, how it was done, whatever the case may be. Then you speak to that child as the adult person that you are. For me, my healing began when I connected to the little girl who was molested by her cousin, my father's nephew. So I went back to her and I let her know, here I am. This is what we're going to look like because I am vain. I feel like I am very beautiful and I know so. I don't need anyone to tell me. Let me tell you. But I love me. But I had to go to her to let her know that it wasn't her fault of what happened to her. I had to let her know that she could release the shame, the pain, because I have her. The adult that I am, I have her. She was safe. So if there are other stages when other things happen, you take that child with you and you take her to the next stage of when another trauma happened. And you introduce her to that other child and you say, this is what's going to happen. You let this child know that it's not over yet. And there may be a bump along the way, but it doesn't mean that we can't climb over it. And then if there's another, you keep taking those children with you because they are you until you reach the place of where you are right now, the adult. You comfort them and you let them know that everything is going to be okay because you made it this far. When is something not okay? When people don't get to speak about their pain. When they don't get to share because they don't feel like they can trust. When it's so heavy that they decide to leave this world. by their own hands. And you understand what I'm saying. There's a way that you can heal the inner child, and you can do it. In that seminar that I went to, so many people walked out of there feeling amazing. If we took nothing else from that, we took away getting to meet people that were just like us and just being able to be who we are authentically, making great connections as I did. The time has come for you to do the work, Cancer, to heal your inner child. Doing this will help you to heal and understand why certain things and people continue to show up in your life. Remember that nothing good comes from ignoring a hurting child. Nothing ever good comes from ignoring yourself, ignoring your pain, your hurt. Nothing good ever comes from that. There's a Cancer here who's been through some things, as we all have. And here I am, I'm one of them. There was a reading that I had. And many of you know that my daughter is a psychic and a medium just like myself. And usually when I ask her to do a reading for me, she will make up an excuse as to why she will not. But this particular day, I asked her for a reading and she was quick. She said yes. So she came, she sat at my desk. You know, she brought her own things as she did. And she was like, I need a few moments, which she always does, to meditate as I meditate in every reading. As she meditated, she started saying different things to me. So I'm like, look, I don't know what you're talking about. What most people do when they have a reading, right? And then I'm like, oh my God, I remember that. And she went into grave detail. And I'm like, I remember that. And I'm like, I've never told anybody that. And I was like, why would you say that? Like out loud. And my husband was right here while she was doing the reading. And afterwards, she was like, my husband said, I understand you better. Why you are the way that you are. And I said, well, shit, me too. Me too. Certain things we try to bury. But when you bury them, they'll always come to a head. When you bury something, you leave it there. You're like, I'm never going to dig that shit up again. It's like a bump. That bump will grow and grow until it comes to a head, and either it will pop on its own or you just touch it the right way, and guess what? It will explode on its own. There's a Cancer here who snaps out. There's a Cancer here, when I say snap out, you can go the fuck off on people. And then you're like, damn, I don't even know why I did that. And that's because there's something that needs to be healed. And that something is you. That someone is you. And you need to dig deep and go back to that time, that place, when whatever it was hurt you, that you continue to carry. Don't carry it. Don't bury it. Confront it. We have the next card, breaking news. Good evening. How are you? We have breaking news in the next card. Breaking news. Focus on the now. Cancer, focus on the now. We often forget to live in the present because we are too afraid. We are too busy dwelling on the past and worrying about the future. Spirit says to remain in the present moment at all times. There's a Cancer here that you get trapped in the mind. You're often thinking about a past event, a past pain, a past trauma. And then when you're off from there, you go on and move a little further and you're worried about the future. If you're single, am I going to meet somebody? And if I do meet somebody, or is it going to be a good person or not? See, that's another problem. We'll talk about that in a second. And if I'm in a relationship, if that person has hurt me before, will they hurt me again? You think about those things instead of focusing on where you're at, right here and right now. Be in the moment. Because if you're focused on the past and worrying about the future, you'll never be able to live in the present moment. My single cancers, those of you who think about the future, and with you thinking about the future, what you're doing is, universe or whomever you pray to, am I going to meet somebody? Are they coming in quickly? Are they going to be good for me? Or will they eventually end up being like A, B, C, D, E, F, G? You're going to get whatever you attract. Whatever your energy is, that's what you're pulling towards you. Have you ever seen, I'm going to have to be graphic. Have you ever saw a person and you looked at them, and I'm going to use the female as a person that's beautiful, standing in her strength and has a great job, right? Doing everything she needs to do. And then the guy she's with, you're like, oh, either he's an alcoholic, he's a junkie, a crackhead, and you're like, why is she with him? She can do better. But that's because of her energy. She doesn't think she can do better. Now, she once upon a time dated a crackhead before. She once upon a time dated an alcoholic before. But being that she stayed up in the energy from the past pain, she brought in the same type of person. Have you ever seen a man and you're like, oh, he's a good man. He's handsome. He's sexy. Oh, that man is intelligent. He has it going on. And then you look at his woman and you're like, oh, they don't match. Why is he with her? He could do better. And then you know somebody that knows them, and all you hear is they got so much drama, always fighting, always bickering, but on the outside you see them as perfection. But then you look at the facade and you're like, oh, he can do better. What if she could do better? And what if he could do better? Maybe because of his behaviors, the energy he was in, things that he has gone through, and the trauma that he has never been able to face is why he's with this person. So instead of them growing and healing one another, they're constantly battling because they live through their own pains. So you may think that he is too good for her. She may be too good for him. And then your friends are saying they got this going on, but one of them is carrying an energy that needs to be released. That's why it's so important before a person begins to date again, when they've gone through a toxic relationship, you heal. So you don't bring that shit into your next relationship. You heal. I remember I'm married. I'm with my second husband. I'm married to my second husband. And I remember when I was telling different family members that I was getting married. And they're like, whoo, you're getting married? Don't you think you should wait a little while? I said, for what? I left him. So if I left him, there's nothing to heal over here. I'm good. I healed along the way. While I was in that first marriage, I was healing as I was getting ready to walk out the door years before. However, there's sometimes people don't heal because they're afraid to be alone. And when you are afraid to be alone, you'll jump right into something. But what people don't know is that my husband taught me patience. My husband, my second husband, who should have been my first, but he taught me patience. He taught me to slow down. Let's be friends. Let's get to know each other. I want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly. Sometimes we skip those steps. And you should never skip them so that you can lay a solid foundation. There's someone who needs to heal. And if you don't heal, you're going to continue to have the same problem in your next relationship. And then your next, and your next, and your next, because you didn't take the time to heal. There's a Cancer that needs to go back to their child. Their child. Your childhood self is you. I don't care if you were a teenager, a preteen. I don't care if you were a young adult. I don't care if you were a juvenile from the age of whenever you can remember when something happened. And if you don't feel like you can do it on your own, I don't knock counseling, but just make sure you got the right type of counselor. Because just because someone has counselor attached to their name, it doesn't mean that they're great or that they're good. My first marriage, my ex and I went to marriage counseling, right? And the lady, she had been divorced 5 times. And I'm like, shit. Well, give me a chance to do that. I'm joking. Give me a chance, you know? Like, what you trying to heal over here? Because you didn't heal it with husband number 1, 2, 3, or 4. And guess what? She wasn't even with husband number 5. But I'm just saying, make sure that you really research your counselor. And you make sure that when you walk in, they really understand, because I want someone to speak to me who's been through the same or similar experience, because you can't give me your advice if you've never been through it. Because you won't understand my hurt, you won't understand my pain, and you won't be able to help me to release. There's a Cancer that needs to focus on right now. Right now. Because when you focus on the now, you'll be able to be in a state of being to whereas you're like, I'm ready to let go of the buried pain, so I can have a beautiful tomorrow. Cancers, at the bottom of the deck, we have this just in. This just in, Cancer. Are you ready for this? Begin to release toxic people from your life. You know who those people are, whether they are family, friends, a lover, etc. It is time to release all people places, and things that no longer serve you. Release the things that you keep carrying. You don't want to be the bag lady, and everywhere you go, you're carrying hurt, carrying pain, carrying trauma. You even have it written down what so-and-so said, and that's in your bag too. We don't care what so-and-so said. So-and-so is not your judge. They're not your jury. What they said doesn't matter. Let me tell you, when my children, I have adult children. I have children in their 30s. I have two that are in their 20s, one in their late 20s and one in their early 20s. And then I have three in their 30s. So when one is mad at me, they'll go to the other one and then they want to do a mommy this and mommy that. And then they'll try to take that one with them and go to the next one. And I just sit there like, you know what they don't like about me that I see? They don't like that I can hear, that I can feel, and I know every damn thing. They hate that. They dislike it with a passion because they can't come to me with BS. And I'm always going to be a straight shooter, period. Guess what happens? When they want to be mad at mommy and they think that they're hurting my feelings because they don't want to talk to me today or for like a month, guess what I do? Oh, you want to play this game? I want to teach you. Let's do this for a little longer. How about a lot longer? How about only respect is all I'll take? I have a son that's dating a young lady. Guess what this young lady has? She has a mother. She has a father. Just like I have a mother and father. Just like you have a mother and father. And it doesn't matter what kind of relationship they have. But this young lady came from somewhere. And I told her she could do better. She can do much better than my son. I told her, you wasted 7 years. And I told you a few years ago to walk away. And you're still coming to me with the same shit. He won't call me his girlfriend. So every time I see them, I'm like, here's my son and his girlfriend. However, his friend, whatever she is. And he just looks at me. Some people do need a title, and she's one of them. So if she's giving you 7 years of her life, you should have already given her your ring, your respect. So I said to her, he doesn't respect you. Period. And so guess what? My mother's disloyal. And then she told me about a guy. And I'm like, tell me more. I'm like, so why didn't you go and be with him? Because I wanted to give your son a chance. I said, he sounds like a decent guy. With him, you're going to have to build him though. But it's nothing wrong with building together. I had to give her something to think about. Because if this guy is not loving you the right way, I wouldn't keep wasting my time. You got to release toxic people. My son is toxic. Don't matter if he's my son or anybody else, and I'm going to be honest. You got to release toxic people. So when he gets mad, guess what I do? I release toxic people because I can't lie for you. I'm going to have to tell the truth about you. You're a mama's boy, but you're a grown-ass man. And you keep trying to play the role of the mama's boy when I'm a grown-ass woman. I've raised you. You're not going to find me in any woman because I was supposed to nurture. I was supposed to give all the things that I did for you to be where you are. You don't need another mommy. You need someone that you're going to be able to love each other equally. If you can't give, let this girl go so she can have what she deserves. I'm the Wicked Witch of the West. I told her, hell, I'll even help you find better. Release. There's a cancer that needs to release something or someone. Most importantly, what you're holding on to that you tried to bury. Let it go. Now let's get to the reading. I know you're like, damn, I thought that was the reading if you're new. But if you've been here before, you know this is just how I begin. Listen, I'm nosy like that. I'm very nosy, so let's get to this reading. This reading is for the sign of Cancer, male or female. This reading is for the sign of Cancer. Once again, I have to be repetitive. If this reading is for a male, I will say so. If the reading is for a female, I will say so. However, if I don't say anything, we all have masculine and feminine energies. If this reading is for you, I promise, if it's for you, it's going to be for you from the beginning of the reading till the end. Thank you so much for that. I saw it. If the reading is for you, it's going to be for you from the beginning of the reading till the end of the reading. There's not going to be any in-betweens, I promise. As my grandmother would say, it'll be for you from the rooter to the tutor. You don't have to question anything, I promise. But there's a Cancer here who needs to release a toxic person or toxic people. Something that they're holding on to. Pain, anger, distrust. Thinking that somebody is going to treat you the same way that another person treated you once upon a time. And guess what? If you think that, that's what's going to happen. Everything is based off energy. I promised you, everything is based off energy. So if you feel insecure and uncomfortable, you're going to bring in a person that plays off your insecurities. You are. You're going to bring in someone who's going to manipulate, and they're going to use your insecurities against you. Now, once you begin to release the hurt, the pain, the anger, the buried shame, once you get to release all these things, you're going to be introduced to a person that you'll be able to grow together. And as you share, they'll share. And so what can we do to build together? A lot of times people forget the steps of building. Building is so important to do. I promise you, it's very important to do. If you don't build, you have nothing. It's going to fall apart. I don't care if you have years in. I don't care if you have decades in. If you don't build on a solid foundation, it will come crumbling down. You know, like they say in the nursery rhymes, we all fall down. And that's what happens. We will all fall down if it's not solid. If the foundation is not solid. You know, you can't build a house on sand without laying a foundation, because it will fall down. But let us get to the reading. I hope everyone is doing well. I really do. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm using, just a second, let me get the box that this deck came in, so I can give you the right name for it. It's called the Lantern Oracle. The Lantern Oracle. So I'm using this deck. I have not used it in a while. Excuse me. So let's get to it, Cancers. Let's get to it. I like to shuffle 3 times. I like to shuffle 3, and I like to cut 3. One of my favorite ways to do a reading is a 9-card spread. I love the number 9, right? But tonight we're doing a 6-card spread. That's an awareness spread. It's a 6-card, so I've been trying to change up the readings a little bit. Spirit guides, help me to deliver the most accurate message that I possibly can for the sign of Cancer, male or female. Show me what I need to see. Tell me what I need to hear. In the beginning of the reading, I heard the word disastrous. Guide me and help me to understand. Thank you. Spirit guides, this is a 6-card spread. Ooh, fell out. Card number 1. Card number 1, we're placing it over here. And this is where you stand. Card number 2 is where you're going. Spirit guides, what else do I need to know for Cancer? Oh, thank you. This is card number 3. Now we're back on this side with card number 4. Spirit guides, 2 more cards, please. This is card number 5 right here in the middle. And 1 more card, Spirit guides. 1 more card. What else does Cancer need to know? What's the hidden message? Cancers, we have 2 cards. So we're going to use this as a bonus card with your hidden message. So I'm going to put this under this one. So this is actually a 7-card spread, right? So we have 2 cards here. Don't forget. The first card that we have is, this is where you stand at this very moment. This is metamorphosis. With this card, right, this is power. This card is strength. This is you willing to surrender to change. What do you want to change? What do you feel like you need to change? And that's healing. There's someone who needs to heal from a wound. You need to heal. But the thing is, the biggest question is how? How are you going to get there? Because we don't need to be carrying this for life. Let me tell you, I'm 52 years old. And when my daughter did the reading for me, there was something that I'd never spoken about. Because when you're a child, they want you to forget it. Act like it never happened. And she brought it back up. And I'm like, my goodness, I thought I buried that. That's something that I was never going to talk about, never going to discuss. There's a Cancer here. You are very powerful. And you need to stand in your strength and face what makes you feel like is causing discomfort to you. You know, this card is represented by the number 11. The number 11 is a message from our angels concerning your soul mission or your greater life purpose. So when the angels send you a message containing this master number 11, they are sending you inspiration, encouragement to develop your abilities in ways that will help all of humanity. Angel number 11 symbolizes the principles of spiritual enlightenment and awakening. And this is a reminder from your angels that we all have come to this physical world from the realm of spirit. Now, if the angels understand and taught us that number one is about leadership. Number one is about optimism, positivity, and taking the initiative to heal those inner child wounds. Understand that master number 11 multiplies these attributes to a higher power. The number 11 represents a transmutation of your personal power to a higher, more spiritual level. Heal thyself. If you don't feel like you can do it alone, do it with someone that you can trust. The card number 2, where you are going. This is where you are going. To renewal. I love this, Cancer. This is renewal. This is the number 27. 27 may be important to someone, Cancer. Maybe your birthday could be June 27th. But this is 27. Renewal. Regeneration begins with decay. Something has to die. Because renewal is rebirth. You have to let something die so that you can be born again, right? My religious people, did I get it right? You know how they be like, you have to be born again. My spiritual people, transformation. Putting an ending to the hurt, the pain, letting it go so that you can transform and have your new beginning. The number 3 card is your aspirations. Forgiveness. Spirits are not playing tonight, are they? This is number 26. Forgiveness. The first card that you received is forgiveness. A whole different deck. This just in. Forgiveness is the key to healing and letting go, Cancer. Whomever you need to forgive says, Spirit is saying, now is the time to do so. There is no need to hold on to hurt, anger, or pain. Release so that you can be free. Once again, when you forgive whomever you need to forgive, don't forget to forgive yourself for holding on for so long. You know, when we hold on to hurt, it blocks our light from the right people coming towards us, to us. You keep blocking your light and you're going to keep getting these people that don't match with you. Allow your light to shine. Imagine you being the beacon, like a lighthouse, right? Guiding the ships in the night. You are represented by the moon. So as that light shines, allow beautiful things to come towards you. When your light doesn't shine, ooh, you get horrible things that come towards you. The same kind of people, but in a different body, right? And you're like, that person acts just like my ex or this or that, because it's the same person, because you haven't healed. You're going to keep getting the same, as I said in Aries reading, duds, right? Because Aries has dated some duds, right? Let me tell you, card number 4. This is your fears. Number 31. What is a person's intentions? Why are they coming towards me? Why do they want me? When something beautiful comes along, when someone beautiful comes along, you question it. Making the wrong choices. Intention. That's when you lack a personal direction. And what does that beget? Confusion. When you don't allow your light to shine. When you don't allow your light to shine. That was my son, the one who I just spoke about, right? He's probably watching this reading, and I said what I said, and I stand on it. But I'll call him back in a moment. But we have the number 5, your true desire, Cancer. Listen, your true desire is the number 10, assistance with access. Assistance with access. Listen, it is necessary to ask for and accept help in order to receive it. There's a Cancer here who doesn't want to ask for help. That means you don't want to go to counseling. You don't want anyone to know what's going on in your world. You don't want to discuss it. You got this. You can handle this. But sometimes, just sometimes, we do need people. And I know it's hard for us to be able to trust. But we do need people. Assistance is okay when it's the right person, someone that you can trust. Your number 6 card is a hidden message. Now, don't forget, we have 2 cards. The first card is the hidden message, the number 22. This is women supporting women. Now, Cancer males, guess what? Men supporting men or women supporting a man. Cancer women, women supporting women. Look, it's okay. Listen, you may not be around the right soul tribe. You may not be around the right company, but you'll be able to meet supporting women. Together, you can trust and transcend your individual limitations. That means there are people that you can go to for help. As I told you, when I went to this retreat, and when I went to the retreat, it was beautiful. I met people from different areas of the world, but we were all similar. Some were just psychics only, some were medium, and some were like me who were psychics and mediums, but it was a beautiful experience. A couple of the women do follow me up here, and we stay in contact, you know? And would I ever do it again with the individual people that I connected with? Yes, I would love to see them individually. But in that group setting, ooh, that's a whole nother story. But I still enjoyed myself. But the number 37, transitions. This is the second card. You have all of the inner resources you need to cross whatever bridges arise in your path. Going back, healing yourself, working on healing yourself. I don't care if you've gone through a million problems. Go back to each time and heal those a million problems. Because when you go to the earliest memory, you take that child with you to the next one, and as you continue to grow in age, when you get to where you are, you'll be able to release. Cancers, at the bottom of the deck for Cancer, the number 6 is trusting tricksters. Can we make this up? This is a Cancer trusting tricksters. This is the number 6. The number 6. The trickster's only power is your trust. You are always free to withdraw it. Oh, people come into your life and you think that you can trust them. They tell you they understand what you've been through, what you've gone through, and they'll never do you like that, right, Cancer? Because Cancer, you'll never do anyone like that. You believe them. You trust them. All along, they're a fraud. They're a trickster. They're just like the ex. But then you're like, I don't want to keep jumping from relationship to relationship. Then heal thyself, Cancer. You know, the number 6 in numerology is associated with family. It's a perfect number. It's a destiny number. And it represents the planet Venus. It can also symbolize natural leadership abilities. You have natural leadership abilities. It's a master number. And they focus on your needs, your growth, Cancer. So when the number 6 appears to you, it's only appearing in this reading because you're facing a difficult time at this present time. Challenges, difficult situation. The number 6 is a sign that you do have strength. You do. You have strength and you have the determination to overcome these challenges, to move forward with confidence, Cancer. If you are seeing the number 6 frequently, even if you haven't been, you will start seeing the number 6. And that is when it's going to be a sign that you have an important message coming in from your guardian angels or a higher power. It also may indicate that you need to focus on bringing more balance into your life, especially in the areas of love, relationships, and your creative expressions. You can harness that positive energy of this number 6 to achieve greater success and happiness in all the areas of your life. Claim it. I don't care what you're going through. Claim happiness. I never get up out of bed without saying today is going to be a beautiful day. I don't care how the day is going to go, but I'm going to claim it. I set my intentions to put a shield of protection around my grandson, around my children, around my husband, my marriage. Every morning I get up and I do the same thing. Nothing is on my mind as I get out of bed and I'm walking to the toilet, and that's what's on my mind. And I'm saying names individually. There's a Cancer here. Everything is going to be okay because you are strong. You are a natural born leader. One thing about a Cancer, let me say this, we equal love. And you know you hear me say that in all my Cancer readings because it is true. Cancers equal LOVE, plain and simple. A lot of times, these tricksters, they come in, they pretend to want to be with you. And some tricksters are even honest. They'll let you know that they don't. But you think, as I said earlier, that you can change a person, and you can't. You can't make anybody love you. You can't make anybody want to be with you. You can't make anybody stay. Everyone has free will. You can't make a person not cheat on you. That has to be in them. You can't make a person not look at another person. You can't make a person do anything. A person is going to be who they are authentically. Excuse me, my camera froze on my end. You can't change anything about a person. What you don't like, you can say to the person, hey, I don't like this and that about you, but it's up to them to choose to be the difference that you want to see or for them to continue to be who they are. Because just because they don't do certain things around you, it doesn't mean that they're not doing it when they're away from you. So you have to allow a person to be who they are authentically. We can't change anyone, but you equal love. And people love that energy. People love being around Cancers. They enjoy the energy that comes from you. So be careful with the tricksters who want to be all up under you because of your nurturing spirit, because you are a great listener, because you are a problem solver, because you give great advice. You want authentic love. You don't want these trickster spirits. The thing is, Cancer, you even know when they are tricksters. But the love that you have for people, you see something greater in them that they don't even see in themselves. Cancer, I'm going to close this reading with my Soul's Truth deck, right? I might need a new deck. It's bent in every which direction that it can go. Spirit guides, help me to deliver the most accurate message that I possibly can for the sign of Cancer. Show me everything I need to see. Tell me everything I need to hear. Thank you. Cancer, what I just got, and I'm going to say it again. You are the lighthouse. You are the lighthouse. Shine your light and let go of the hurt, the pain. When you shine your light, it'll be so bright that it blocks the view of you from these trickster spirits. These trickster spirits won't be able to come around you. Let me tell you. How can I be more flexible right now? Cancer, how can you be more flexible right now? What are you trying to control? Maybe it's time to let go. Let love move through you today and trust the outcome will be for your highest good. Today's soul action, Cancer. Remind yourself all day long that you are safe, that life is happening for you, and that you are not alone. And the card says, and then go do some yoga. But you're not alone. Your angels, pray to them, speak to them. I don't miss a day without speaking to my angels, my guardian angels, my ancestors, my ascendant masters. I don't miss a day at all. At the bottom of the deck, what can you burn? The card says, what can I burn? Burn it, Cancer. Burn it. Burn it all. The ugly lies, the pain, the shame, the criticism. The images that run through your head, the reminders of what you did wrong, and the proof that you are not enough. Burn, baby, burn. Your soul is calling. It is time for a rebirth. Did I say that earlier? It's time for a rebirth. You are like the phoenix rising from the ashes, no longer attached to the past. Let it go. Heal that inner child. You are free, Cancer. You are free. Your wings are ready, so use them. Today's soul action, make the choice that you will no longer let the past define you. Pick up your pen. What will your next chapter look like? Pick up your pen. I journal. I love journaling. If you saw what was behind me, you'll be like, what the heck? I journal, I journal, I journal. I used to send out so many journals on these platforms. But I haven't in a while. My pockets were getting a little low. But I used to send out so many journals, so many tarot decks, right? And I have 2 more decks left. I just sent one to a young lady. And I have 2 more that I'm going to be doing a giveaway for. But Cancer, journal. It's so important to journal. Even when you meditate, it's good to keep a journal by you or on your lap. You never know what messages you're going to get, and you may need to write them down quickly so that you don't forget. Journaling is healing. I promise. Journaling is healing. Journal. When you journal, I always say, put it somewhere that no one can get to it. Journaling is like a diary. When I was younger, back in my day, we used to keep diaries. We did. And I remember my middle sister and I, we found my oldest sister's diary. And when we found my oldest sister's diary, we was like, what the heck? And we showed it to my mother. Right? Well, I didn't, but I was a part of it because, you know, I was there. And my middle sister showed it to my mother. And the diary was about my mom, right? And I was like, dang, sis, you feel that way? Tell me how you really feel. And then the only thing she wrote about me was that I was a pest. But I'll take that. I was fine, right? And she had some things about my middle sister. I think that's why my middle sister took it to my mom. But, man, I regretted that because that was her privacy. Because guess what I did? I wrote half of the same shit about my mother, too. And my sister didn't lie. But we had no reason to violate because it was a violation. Treat your journal like a diary. No one should read it. Not unless you want them to. It's your privacy. But journaling is healing. Journaling is healing. And trust me, I apologized to my sister. I did. I apologized to her. And then I don't think she ever had a diary after that. Not unless she kept it somewhere that we couldn't find it. You know what I mean? But, yeah, that happened. Yeah. And she said I was a pest. I was a pest. I was. I was always up under my big sister. Trust me. But I am Empress Real 1584, the Good Witch. I send to you all nothing but love and light. Let me take this phone call. It was my son. So, definitely, my family watches my readings, but I'll say the same thing. I think the young lady, well, I know the young lady could do better. No matter what, she can do better. She's 30 plus years old and already given someone 7 years of her life. I think that's a long time. But she has to make the best decision for herself. And even if my son wasn't my son, I wouldn't even date him. He's such a mama's boy. But I am Empress Real One. I do personal readings from my personal website. I know my name is long. You could click the link and it'll take you over to my website. These readings, I post them over on my YouTube platform. So if you want to watch this reading again or any other, if you know what your placements are, there's no timing when it comes to tarot. So anytime you see a reading, that means it was meant for you at that time, if you resonate with it. I am Empress Real 1584, the Good Witch. I thank you for your time. Most importantly, your time, because my readings are long. So if you made it through, thank you. I thank you for the gifts. I thank you to the new followers. I will be back tomorrow, and that will be a Leo reading. I will be doing Leo tomorrow at 8 o'clock. My husband always says, stop putting the time up because you're never on time. But I will be here tomorrow between 7:50 and 8:05. No, I will be here tomorrow at 8 o'clock, Leo reading. Love and light. Good night. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the new follows. Good night.